people are waiting on the MTL, or the ability to cash out. Now, I know we've updated people recently that we are in the final stages of compliance and legal sign-off and those things. Any update on that front?
Yep, it's all coming along very well. So still going through some of the final bits of compliance with our payment partner. And then I believe the last thing we need to do is just some integration with the banking institution. And then we'll be pretty much done. Now, I probably mentioned this on a previous AMA, but just so everyone listening understands the rollout strategy is that once the Gem to Fiat is ready, which will all be available through the web wallet, which I believe is omi.veve.me, we will be initially, for the first couple of weeks anyway, inviting in a few select users to participate in that. And the whole idea really is that, we just need to be careful that we don't want to open it up to our entire audience immediately with such a sort of sensitive feature. So the idea there is that we'll basically open up to a small group of users. They can go through, do the test on their side, make sure everything's working perfectly. And then for all the OGs who remember back in the day with all of the market going offline, coming back online, it'll be fairly similar to that, as in we'll be inviting users in batches and then eventually open it up to the wider audience. Now, I hope that will be a fairly short period of time, but like I say, we need to make sure that with such a sensitive feature that everything is working as it should, which for anyone who's in coding knows that it always goes perfect.
That's it. Always goes perfect. And, as you said, we are obviously dealing with quite a lot of value and people's money and assets. So, these things have to be done right. And I think we still have quite a cohort of OGs who will remember the market rollout. So hopefully,
exactly. And just a couple of other notes. On that, so the KYC process. So obviously, if anyone wants to cash out, they need to go through KYC. That is international anti-money laundering laws in this day and age. Now that KYC, when you submit your application, will be approved or potentially denied within a 24-hour period. So just something to keep in mind. And obviously, all of this information will be on the payout screen in the web wallet. And I'll be working with Reese over the next sort of week or so to start putting together some information around that. Now, if you do go through KYC and further information is required, such as uploading your passport or a photo of you with your passport, as is typical with exchanges and any sort of financial institution, you'll be contacted by our payment provider, and then they'll request the additional information, and then based on that, your account will be approved or hopefully not denied. So just a little bit of insight into how that general process is going to work.
Perfect. And one thing you did note there is that it will only be available in the web wallet. Is it right? People shouldn't look for this in the app when it's live?
Yes, that is correct. Yes. So everything will be through the web wallet. It's just a much easier and for us more secure way. If you need to upload upload any information or anything like that, it's much easier to go through the web platform. Now, eventually, the web wallet will be fully integrated into the VeVe web app that is currently in development now. But until we announce that, just assume that the omi.veve.me is the place to go.
Fantastic. And if anyone hasn't used that yet, your login is the same as your VeVe login. It's ubiquitous across all platforms. So just in case you haven't seen that. And the web platform was my next question, but you just covered that. So that's fantastic. Now we have obviously a few big ticket items immutable. That is well underway. Do we have any updates on that front?
Immutable, what's that?
What is this thing?
Yes, no, coming together very well. And yeah, shout out to I forget the name of the guy who did it, but the Immutable X Wrap.
Oh,
hilarious.
Pineapple
Non-fungible
Gang.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah,
Yeah, not
fungible,
fungible,
wonderful. If
wonderful.
you're on
Yeah.
here, lots of giggles on our side.
Yeah.
Very, very witty and very funny. So if people haven't seen that, I highly recommend going to check it out. So yeah, we're basically just down to the last final things. There's a couple of points that we're just working through with the Immutable team, who have been very supportive and also are very, very eager to launch the platform as well. And some of you may have heard that they did their own private sale token. I believe it was it last week, Reese?
Yeah. Yeah. Last
Yeah.
week they're on
And that's sort of the turning point for them, really going live and getting their product out there. So we will be releasing some information on how to use the token swap site, what's going to happen with exchanges, withdrawing from L2 to L1, or all of those all of that information will be outlined in a series of articles and some how-tos. So we just want to make sure that from a communications point of view and instructional point of view, that we'll be putting out a lot of information for our OMI holders out there.
Yeah.
Now, I just wanted to touch on a couple of things with Immutable. Now, just obviously we're working very hard on our end. We got guns blazing to have everything live, but by the end of September. But if it ends up being a couple of days later or whatever, I don't want the community to stress out. We're obviously working very hard on our side to get this done. And as I mentioned, everything goes perfectly with development, so of course there's going to be no issues.
Yes.
But just to keep that in mind, I hope the community knows by now that we always deliver. Maybe not on the timeline, but we always deliver.
We get there.
Yeah, we always get there. Now, the other point is that so the whole purpose of what we're doing with Immutable now is the migration from GoChain over to Immutable, and obviously everything around that with the tokens, the reminting of the NFTs, all of that kind of stuff. Now, and then the next step after that will be to open up the interoperability in the app for those licensors or artists who have allowed their assets to go out. And I just bring this up because I don't want people to think that as soon as Immutable goes live, the interoperability is going to be in place. That development is underway, but obviously we need to get the migration rolled out, everything running and working fine with that. And then the very first thing that'll be coming out next with regard to Immutable will be the interoperability within the product. So just to give users a little bit of a heads up, it's from our perspective on a development side, this is a big upgrade to the system. So we want to get the first phase out of the way, which is migration. Make sure that everyone knows what they're doing with the token swap, etc. And then we'll move straight into the interoperability, because I know everyone wants to sell their Givenchy Pride for $5 million on OpenSea.
Minimum. Yeah.
Minimum.
And just while we're on that topic, so obviously people with tokens will need to perform some actions and swap their tokens. But as a VeVe user, am I correct that the user experience really shouldn't see any interruptions? Will we need to take the app offline for any amount of time to upgrade these things, or will it be generally uninterrupted?
Yes, that's a great point, Reese. We will be taking the app offline for the final stages of the migration. So I don't anticipate that the app will probably be down maybe 3 to 4 hours, potentially less than that. And yeah, that's just the last phase where we basically do massive upgrade to the back end once we've gone through the process of minting and migrating all of the records, etc. over. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll be sure to send out solid communications around when that's going to happen.
Absolutely, yeah. That's we'll get that out there for sure. Now, another thing people are waiting on for Immutable is to find out about the new utilities and what we're going to do with the OMI token. Now, I know you and I have a bit of work to do to put some info together. Do we have any sort of ETA or updates we can give people on token utility?
Yes.
Or yeah?
Yeah, so I'm actually, Reese, I've been doing quite a lot of work in the
Fantastic.
background. So I think I've pretty much basically written the article. So
that's what I like to hear.
I'll just need you to go through and give it the Reese once over for me.
Perfect.
But yes, by the end of September, we will be releasing our article on the Ecomi utility coming to VeVe. Very excited about that. Obviously, it's been a long time coming. I obviously hoped that it would be in place before now, but we've been dealing with this crazy growth spurt since January, which has presented numerous points of excitement and challenges. So I just wanted to touch on that, just so people know that it's coming, and I think we've got a pretty solid offering when it comes to Ecomi utility in the app. So please keep your ear to the ground and keep an eye out for that announcement.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to getting that information out.